How's that? What's 600 away from passing funded? There you go, Diminish. Very nice, man. Appreciate that, Kyle. I think I fixed it. Alan, what's up? Or Elaine. Yo, I'm young, getting into trading. Any tips? Take it slow, man. There's no rush. Such a blessing that you can discover this at a young age, because if you can take it slow and just really focus on the fundamentals and lock in and stick with it, you'll be okay. Don't try to rush it. I like that. Heard that before. Stay small enough, long enough, and you'll be big enough soon enough. Essentials, what up? Bullish or bearish? We'll see. I was wrong yesterday. I just want clean price action. I don't care which way it goes. Yeah, Everett, he's a cool dude, man. PJ helped me tremendously. Whether you trade ICT or not, when you can follow somebody and watch their example of how disciplined and professionally they approach the markets, it will improve you. It will improve your trading. It'll improve your psychology. And that's the biggest thing PJ has done for me, was he really helped me realize that you do not have to always click the button. You're not missing anything. There's going to be more. Even if you miss a perfect trade, there's going to be another one at some point. There's no reason to go nuts and just click the button like you're going crazy. A lot of people can't grasp that. They think they always got to be in a trade or always got to click the button. You trade during a specific time frame? Yeah, from 9:30 a.m. till about 11 or 12. And then if I don't get a trade in that time frame, I look again around 1 or 1:30 until about 3. And that's Eastern Standard Time. On my way to a first payout. There you go. Started in November. That's quick, man. Yeah. I got that marked out here on ES. We took one of these highs slightly. That PM high still sitting there. I appreciate the millennial playlist. And these are bangers, dude. What's up, D? Can I make it out the hood with 5K? I mean, you can make it out of the hood with less than that, dude. You know what's more valuable than any money that you have in your pocket is your mindset. Be delusional, man. Be absolutely delusional. C-bomb trades now. I think it's wild that so many people say that, because I don't think I look like him at all. Like, I don't see it, but I do appreciate that. That's a huge compliment. You think you can trade from anywhere in the world? Yeah, anywhere that, as long as you're not in a country that a prop firm has banned from trading with their firm, because obviously your IP address will show in that country and it won't be allowed. There are certain countries that prop firms do not allow you to trade from. But generally speaking, yeah, you can trade from anywhere. A Glock in a dream. Everett, I would say a dollar in a dream. Old J. Cole. You explain what you're looking at. This is a chart on a website called TradingView, and it's the chart of NASDAQ futures. Currently, it's on the 5-minute time frame. So each one of these candles is a 5-minute candle. So it represents 5 minutes in time. And currently, price is going up. And the theory or the idea is we would like to be able to know when price is going to go up so we can buy a position and then sell it back at a higher level. Or if we think it's going to go down, we'll sell a position and buy it back at a lower level. In each case, we would make money. Is it the same day, Mason? If it's the same day still, then you can lose some of it back. That's what I would recommend doing. Otherwise, you're going to create a lot of work for yourself. You think we're going to see big volatility at the open before Nvidia's earnings? I think that'll come later in the day. You'll see major volatility later in the day. Their earnings reports will be after 4 o'clock. I think that's usually when they do it. So the market closes, the regular stock market closes at 4, and then they do their earnings after that. So the futures market will probably be pretty volatile from 3:30 until those earnings release. Right now, we're just pumping. How do you make those predictions? I mean, I wouldn't say that's a prediction. That's just an observation of the way things have worked in the past. Could change. I mean, could change. Oh, you're talking about. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Nvidia. I thought you were the Nvidia comment. You're talking about how do you make those predictions? So right now, I look at it's an informed guess, I guess is what you could say. But I use level 2 data software, which is this that you're looking at right here. So this shows where orders are stacked up in the market. It shows the aggression in which orders are being placed. So if an order is being placed at the current price, that's called a market order. If it's somebody placing an order and it's resting at one of these higher or lower levels, that's called a limit order. So you can see those being put into the market and pulled from the market. And you're using this in conjunction with market structure. So there's different theories you can use. You can use supply and demand. You can use ICT. You can use trend lines, different theories. What I do is I trade loosely ICT concepts, and I rely heavily on that level 2 data software. That's called Bookmap. So this is called Bookmap. This is level 2 data software. It's a very useful tool to have in your tool belt as a trader. You're kind of flying blind without it to an extent. It's called Bookmap, Darby. You can get it from bookmap.com. It's about $100 a month. Hugo, what up? Does it work with options too, or just visualize level 2? I'm not sure. I'm sure you could find a way to use it for options, I would imagine. That's a good question, though. I don't want to give you a bad answer on that, but I would think that you could find a way to make it useful with options as well. Crazy helpful you've run follow. Do you teach or mentor? I mean, I teach in the sense that like I do what I'm doing right now, but I don't offer a course or anything like that. I'm not a course seller. I try to help people through these free lives. Does PJ trade IFVG only? No, I think he's pretty versatile, man. He's a pretty versatile trader. What is my London high? We swept it already. Swept it already. It would have been at 25,158.50. No, that's where we currently are. 25,150. On NQ. And then on ES, it was 6,928.75. What's up, Jose? Where's that indicator? It's on TradingView. It's called ICT Kill Zone and Pivots. Appreciate it, Ben. Same to you, man. Matthew, what up? Hey, my bad for not texting you back, man. I woke up, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is weird. I woke up at like 1:30 this morning, and for some reason, I remember that I didn't text you back, and I felt so bad. So my apologies for that. What's our verse of the day? Everett, you just read my mind, man. It's Matthew 22:37 through 39. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbors as yourself. Yeah, I have some time, man. I don't have class till 1:30, so I'll shoot you a call. Kayla, what up? Direction of the day? I'm not sure, canned tomato soup. Blast off, what up? ICT, supply and demand, trend lines. There's people who trade just standard deviations. You can write these down and look them up, because to be honest with you, trend lines and things like that, I very loosely know. I mean, when I first started, I actually trend line traded myself, and it wasn't because I saw anyone else doing it. It's just what made it sense. I started drawing these channels, and then when price would break out one direction or the other, that's how I would trade. And then I discovered later that that was like a common thing that people did. But I don't recommend that strategy. You can do what you want, but that's not what I recommend. Nice. Yeah, I think that video, I should have made that video sooner, man. I think that video, a lot of people have issues that are switching to using Trade-Evade. Diminish, no, did not. You consider this gambling? Yes, I do. I also consider starting a business gambling. I consider going to college and taking out student loans to be gambling. I consider getting in my car and driving to the store to be gambling. Getting married is one of the biggest gambles you can possibly make. But just because it's gambling doesn't mean that there's not a way to be good at it. This is a sign to put it all on black. Exactly, Everett. I think there's a way to do this with when you're using when you're using information to make decisions. You're using your level 2 data. You see what's going on. You're looking at trends. You're doing things like that. Anytime you trade, you don't know what price is going to do, but the more information that you're using to justify the trade you're taking, I don't know. It's not like you're just like closing your eyes and clicking the button and hoping you go in the direction you want it to go. So there are some people that do that. They just constantly click the button and they're hoping for the best. But I think if you watch me long enough, you'll understand that that's not how I trade. I try to approach this as professionally as possible and take it as seriously as I can. Yo, I've not watched you since December. Been hectic for me, but how's your start of your year been? It's been good, user. Little rocky, but I cannot complain overall. Have not gotten a new car yet, no. Two trades yesterday, 5K total. First one I lost, second one hit TP. There you go, David. Love that. Perfect way to go about it. And then you got off. You didn't keep trading. Yeah, I don't have a bias. Honestly. I got some standard deviation points marked out here just because the next major liquidity levels on NQ are way up here in the mid 2500s. So, 300 points away, 250 points away, something like that. So these standard deviation markers are what I have out, but there's liquidity under us. This is the previous day candle mark right here, the standard deviation for the high, low, mid for the previous day candle. This is the high, this is the mid, this is the low from yesterday's candle. We'll see. Got 8 minutes till the market opens. 7 minutes and 30 seconds. This is TradingView. Can make a case. Yeah. You guys aren't just flipping a coin. I saw a guy that was using a chicken. This is a while ago. He was making a series about, he had a chicken. He was letting the chicken pick long or short, and that's how he was trading. He actually was doing all right. It's kind of funny. I just use the standard deviation tool, man. I just mark out for this right here. I think I did the 30-minute, the high and the low from that pullback right there. That basically was what I used for that standard deviation. You can see it marked out right there. That's one standard deviation, 2, 2.5, 3. Leroy, what up? Chicken was profitable. Surprise chicken, man. Yeah, David, that's why I don't like having a bias, really. You can kind of, like I was saying yesterday, you can accidentally get into a position where you're only looking for one direction, and you can miss good setups going the other way. Why futures over options? Whole different ballgame, man. Whole different ballgame. I would say that you could do both, and most successful professional traders do both. Yeah, I mean, Anderson, you can use order blocks, breaker blocks. High time frame order blocks are nice. High time frame PD arrays like an order block or a fair value gap, anything like that. If you're trading ICT principles, those are things that obviously you'd want to use. I'm telling you though, bookmap, man. All those things are good, and they're nice to be able to make sense of market structure. That's why I use them, but I rely super heavily on bookmap. You can't beat bookmap, man. You got to pay attention though. Like yesterday was one of those days where bookmap, you had to be careful because you had these large orders that would be resting, and you'd pretty much on a normal day, price would just be shooting through those levels. And yesterday you were getting pretty strong pullbacks. It was very wicky. You were getting some strong pullbacks before it would take that liquidity. So if you were taking a trade, you could easily get stopped out before it went to the liquidity pool that it wanted to absorb. Most days though, you know, if you're within 10 or 15, 20 points of that level, it's just going to shoot straight to that level. When you start to realize that that's the kind of day it is, you need to either call it or lower your sizing tremendously to give yourself more runway. Yeah, we have some 4 hours, and that's what I was looking at earlier. I mean, we're in a 4 hour right now. You got a breaker right here on the 4 hour. Right inside of this inversion. But we're in a bearish inversion or a bearish gap right now. We're getting ready to tap into this bearish inversion on the 4 hour. Yesterday, though, we were inside of bearish PD arrays, and we pumped through it. So yeah, exactly. Start the position small and add as it goes. Once you get confirmation that it is doing what you want it to do. I use an indicator called the FEG/IFEG Nephew Sam. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be after the market closes at 4. Is when the NVIDIA earnings come out. That's typically when they release them. Got a minute and 30 seconds until the market opens. So many abbreviations. You think Trump's address will affect price action? No, I don't. This is NQ, yeah. Bookmark? I mean bookmap? You want to see it real quick? I'll show it to you right before the market opens, and then I'm going to switch back. That's how Fibonacci works, Anderson. Typically a trade likes to get a full move of a trade is like 2.5, or actually it's 4 standard deviations, but it usually goes around the 2 to 2.5 standard deviations and pulls back. It's, to be honest with you, I probably should be able to explain that better, but it's mathematical somehow. Somebody in the chat, I'm sure, will have more insight on it than I have. I just know that's how it works. You equipped thermal. All right, here's the open. A bunch of orders up to 25,200 here. I drop down to the 5-minute here. There's that 200 level, just got absorbed. My Chinese quant told me we're dumping at 200. You see my quant? What do you notice? There you go, MBT. Just pumping. YouTube. You ever try to get in that big push at open? Sometimes. Not usually. I like to let the market settle and really tell me what it wants to do, because right now, you know, very easily we could see a strong pullback here. When as soon as you enter, it's like immediately you're going to be in drawdown. I don't know that I see that happening here. It could be a pullback to the 200 and then a push back higher, but just got to be careful. Got to be real careful. Got orders flashing at 200. Ton of orders above us, though. This is the 5-minute that you're looking at. Be careful with that short, Tony. Could play out, but from what I'm seeing on the book map, I'd be hesitant to do that. orders coming flashing hard at 200. There's a pull back to 208 and then a push right back up into the 20s. I'm looking at Bookmap, Matt. Would I trade without Bookmap? I would really not like to. I would really not like to. I like Bookmap a lot, man. These 20s are holding here. There are a bunch of orders up into the 30s, 40s, and then into the 50s, but there's also a bunch of orders flashing at 200. Orders flashing down here where that line is that I just posted, or that I just marked. Who uses 30-minute? A lot of people. 30-minute, I like 30-minute. Absorbed those orders in the low 40s there and then turned around. Appreciate that, David. There's a tool on TradingView. It's the fib retracement tool. This is Spanish music. This is Raja Manta by Cafe Del Mar. Who knows? It's a song I threw on my playlist. There's that 150, or that, excuse me, the 250 level just got smacked. Yeah, it ain't happening, Matthew. You know better than that. $25,400 called it first. That'd be a hell of a pump, man. I'd like to see it. Ton of orders coming up into the 60s here. There's orders down again to the 200s and then heavy above us. So this could be my fear with price action like this from what it's looking like. You get the staircase up and then the elevator down scenario where it's slowly chopping up, and then all of a sudden you just get a big tank. That would not be ideal. Not for me, at least, if I was in a trade. Looking for orb. Nice. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, it wouldn't be bad for me, because if it just keeps dumping, then I could look for a slight pullback and then take it. But you ever feel pressure when you're trying to make this work, and what do you do to keep that way? Dude, all the time. But when you start to take payouts, it makes that feeling a lot less influential, because you realize that it does work, and you know how to make it work, and you know how to make money from it. And you just got to have faith that, if you follow your rules and you stick to what you know how to do that led you to taking payouts in the first place, then it will work in the long run. You also got to have a mindset where you're just like, this is going to work. So for some people, that's delusional. I think you have to be delusional, though, in order to find some level of success. I know for me that it works, and I love doing it. So if you love doing it and you can make it work, don't stop. What are you trading? This is NASDAQ futures. There's a pump into the high 50s there. Quick rejection off that 58 level, 57. There are orders to the downside, very few. The next big, relatively decent sized block of orders is still resting there at the 25,200 level. We'll look at ES here for a second. ES does have plenty of orders to the downside here. This is ES. All the way down to the VWAP there. That's that white line at 29.24, or excuse me, 69.24. And then ES is, NQ has the orders to the upside here, so we'll see. They usually call you crazy before they call you genius. Yeah, what's funny is people will in a lot of scenarios, people will crap on what you have going on, but then when you start making tremendous money from it, they'll ask you how you did it. Teach me, bro. Is that order flow? That is Bookmap, which is what you use to read order flow. You can use candles also to read order flow, but it's very helpful. Christian is my goat. Appreciate that, Gage. I'm definitely not the goat, man. But I'm doing my best to get there. Trying to get better on a daily basis. Just touched an hourly gap. Yeah. It feels like we haven't really been respecting those higher time frame gaps, but that is a first presented hourly gap on the way down from Thursday, February 12th. So that could hold a little more weight than usual. We'll see. Could hold a little more weight than the ones we've been pushing through. What do you do for trading, Pop? I've done a lot of things, man. I was a mechanic for about 6 years. Worked for a law firm as a legal analyst for a number of years, 3 years or so. done a ton of blue collar jobs, framing, landscaping. Done a lot of different things, man. Kato, what's up, man? Hey, I appreciate you showing up too, bro. Correct, Ali. Is it Ali or Ali? That is correct. Gives you a general idea. Ali, okay, gotcha. Big orders up to 25,300 now. You waiting for the knife? I'm just being patient, man, because something in my gut tells me we could get a pretty strong retracement here in a minute based on what I'm seeing on the ES book map. This is, look how different we're moving here. This is ES, and then this is NQ. So I'm a little weary. Leery? Mom, correct my grammar again. Leery. I think I posted the video the other day and I used weary. My mom had to correct my grammar, which I appreciate. Teach me, bro. What do you want me to teach you, man? You got some crazy beard growth. Didn't you shave it about a week? It was like 3 weeks ago, but yeah. Can grow a beard, man. It's funny, when I started losing my hair, my beard growth, it's like they traded places. I'm 20 with one hair on my chin. Man, I don't know what they're doing to you guys nowadays. I feel like they're putting something in the water, because it does seem like, I mean, as you guys know, I'm in college, so I'm around a bunch of 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds and stuff, and it feels like it's rare to see people be able to grow a beard at that age now. When I was a kid, man, you had kids in middle school that were shaving. What prop firm? Lucid is the one that I have 5 accounts with them right now. I have several with Take Profit Trader and with Tradeify as well. But I'm pumped about these Lucid accounts. NQ is just pumping here, man. I don't know what the turnaround's going to be. Yeah, I am copy. Lucid Flex, yep, and I am copy trading them all. Tesla, could be it. I'm using TradeSyncer, which is a copy trading platform. Highly recommend it. Have I tried trade? See, I've paper traded with the paper trading account. I don't. For me personally, I don't. There's not a whole lot of benefit to it. It's basically the same thing as I'm doing right here. And if you want brackets, here's a little tip for you guys. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let me make sure I have this turned on. Yeah, I do. You can hit the so what you can do if you're trying to bracket trade, you can hit the trade button in the top corner, and you can drag and do this the same way you can like on Project X or whatever, which is a big deal for some people for some reason. So I don't know, man. I don't have a reason to use Trade C. Big orders down at 300 now. In the top right corner of Trading View, you can hit Trade. First, you need to go into your settings. Right click on the chart, go to settings, and then hit trading, and then make sure that project order for market orders is turned on. It's checked. Yeah, a lot of people are into that, the gamified aspect of it. Hey, bro, what would you say is the best Lucid account type? I like the flex accounts, Claudio, and the reason being is they don't have a consistency rule in the funded. So, the reason that's beneficial is you can sit there and have just a blowout day, and it's not going to affect you in terms of your payouts. What's up, Zach? How's it going, man? When did you start college? I'm a junior right now. Midway through my junior year. You gotta reach the buffer. So the buffer is equivalent to your drawdown. So it's 2K, alley, which is the same with most firms. I mean, most firms require you to do that. Oh, you're talking about the daily profit? You're in 10th grade. You get an early start on trading, man. What's my TP? I'm not in a trade. On Lucid Flex, you don't need to hit buffer. I thought you still had to hit the 2K, Tristan. Is that not true? Funded rules. Days to pay out 5. Scaling plan. Consistency, none. No consistency. Days to payouts to live 6. Daily loss limit, none. Probably should go look at the rules page. More detailed on there. Corrupt. If you're just looking for live data, you're going to need to pay for the essential trading view plan, and then you pay for the data on top of that. All in, it's like $22 a month or something. It's $15 for the essential plan, and then it's $7 for the live data, CME data. My first payout didn't hit. Okay, that's good to know. Saw a Forex trader lose 135,000 1 hour ago. That sucks, dude. It's a rough day. Hey, God bless you too, Cato. Have a good day, man. Hope you're doing all right. Do you recommend the 50Ks or the 100Ks? I like 50Ks, man, but it also depends on the firm. Also depends on the firm. What does Bookmap look like? Like that. Lucid 50Ks. that emoji looks right. I never bought live data. It's always just came with the fund accounts. Yeah, it does. Yeah. If so, prop firms typically supply live data for you. So when you sign in to your TradeAvate account on TradingView with that firm, it'll automatically have live data. That giant heat line, it is a majority sell order, 216, 217 sell orders. Those are people who are long that are probably, that's where their take profit levels are at 25,350. Gotta say, you look like a really nice guy. I appreciate that, man. Don't let the looks fool you. Just kidding. Strong pullback there. There's different websites you can look at, and they'll be announced after the market closes, after 4 p.m. Typically, that's when they do it. But you can also go look and see when they're scheduled. I mean, I could do that right now. NVIDIA earnings. They typically are announced after the stock market closes at 4. Earnings release, the results will be released after the market closes around 4:20 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. And there's all different kinds of websites that you can go to that'll have the earnings. Strong pullback down to 300 here. When you're copy trading your accounts, which accounts do you normally use as your lead account? My Lucid account. Typically. I was doing my Tradeify account for a while, but Lucid is the one right now. Pushing back up to that 25,350 level. Those orders are still there. 230, 225 sell orders up at this mark right here. And then just took them. What do you mean, borrow? You can copy trade different props. Yeah, you can copy trade all of them if you're using a I use TradeSync, so I can link all the different firms and then execute the trade just simply on one account, and it'll copy them over to all the other ones. I don't have to worry about even thinking about the other. Now, some people don't recommend doing that. Like PJ, he teaches just to trade one firm at a time, simply just to protect yourself. And I know other people do that too. Like Rips, he only trades one firm at a time. So, you know, I think if the guys who are highly successful with this, that's what they do. It's not bad to emulate what they do. But for me personally, I trade them all together, which I can promise you has led to some disastrous days. You leave a limit order on the chart, you come back later after a good day and you realize that all your accounts are gone. That pretty much makes you want to go find the closest bridge. So you gotta be super careful. Varo, I'm confused by the question. Are there any other relevant firms that are relevant for us traders when they release earnings? Like you're talking about companies, Microsoft, Tesla, NVIDIA, any of the major companies that you can think of like that typically has an effect on the market. Also had some banger days too. That's true, Zach. Yeah, when things are going good, they're going great. But there's a reason why PJ and those other guys say not to copy across firms, is because when things are not good, things are really not good. Your problems are amplified. So it's tough. I think that's the second standard deviation of what I had marked out. Yeah, it definitely is. That's actually the 2.5 right there of the second of the standard deviation I had marked out, I believe. Yeah, 2.5. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll make that color black. Easier to see. Why did that not change? Oh, it made the line black. I need the dummy text need to be black. Where's the text color? Anyway, you get the idea. That's the 2.5 standard deviation. Wouldn't be surprised we see a big pullback from this level, or we just keep pumping. But that would be the level if I'm looking for a reversal or at least a strong retracement. That would be it. Yeah, Allie, you would think that works. Flatten all, cancel all orders. You would think that works, right? No issues, right? Just, I can tell you, be very careful. What I've started to do, even when I click that flatten all, cancel all orders inside of TradeSync, you need to make sure you go to each individual account inside of Trade and make sure you double check everything. Because I've had it before where, and this has happened several times now, for whatever reason, it'll cancel the orders on the lead account. It doesn't cancel them on all the follower accounts. So I actually had this happen very recently, last Thursday. Had a great day, and then the stop losses for all my follower accounts did not get taken off the chart. It was a sell order. And if you remember price action on Thursday, we were pumping, and we got some strong retracements and pumps. So I had a great day Thursday. Stop loss got triggered on my follower accounts, and then price kept going. Not fun. Very demoralizing. But that's why you got to go into each account inside of TradeEvade. If you're using TradeSync, make sure you go to each account and make sure that there's no orders left on the chart. I drew the fib on the 30 minutes here from the top of this move down to the bottom. That's just what felt, I mean, That's what felt like the right. You use the hourly, but it's that last leg down before the move higher. Which is right at the spot here where you're seeing this pullback. Christian, do you know how long it takes for your pro account? I'm guessing you're talking about TPT. What's up, Andres? He did say that. Floppy. That was so interesting listening to him talk about trading. What's the question? How long your TPT accounts take to activate? Well, if you just passed the account this morning, you have to wait until after the account settles after the market closes. Typically that happens around 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And right after that, you'll be able to activate your pros. I'm telling you though, with I passed a challenge yesterday and I filled out all the documents and it said ready to trade. You should be good then. Did you go in there? You got to go into the dashboard, go into, let me sign in. I'm trying to remember the exact process. Orders get rejected. Are you trading on the pro accounts? That's strange, man. I don't know if you can send me a video on TikTok. If you can, send me a video in my DMs of what's going on. Or if you can't send me a video on TikTok DM, go to my Instagram, which is ChristianTrades Live, and send me a video on there in my DM. Let me see what you got going on. It says pending on the dashboard. It should not take that long if you passed yesterday. I've never had it take that long. It's that evening typically when... Did you do... All right, what time yesterday? The unicorn model on the 1 minute. Would not say it's a unicorn because you still have this down close that's above us right there, and then you have a up close right here in the middle of this. Breaks that sequence, but if you get a break of structure here to the downside, that's when you could potentially start eyeballing a short. There are orders down at 20, all the way down to the 25-200s. Yesterday morning, shoot me a video, Kuzi, on Instagram or TikTok of exactly what's going on. See if I can help you out. You only filled out the document this morning. It still should be good. Yeah, just shoot me a video. Let me see what you got. Potential short going on here. Strong dump. Don't front run this. Be careful front running this large 5 minute here. Do what you want, but that would kind of give me pause. There are tons of orders underneath this here. I'll show you on the book map. ES is way out of whack with NQ, so I don't know how confident I'd be in any sort of SMT. It's been out of whack with NQ all morning. Talking about commissions, David. I think the commissions, if you're trading a mini, is like $4 or something off of one contract. Something like that. I think it varies per firm, though. Where do you get that map? This is a level 2 data software called Bookmap. You can get it at bookmap.com. Yeah, that's why I would be hesitant front running this 5 minute here. Just be careful. Lucas, what's up, man? Let me grab a water. Still a ton of orders underneath us here. Appreciate that you don't wear shoes in the house. I like to stay clean, man. I adopt the Asian mentality of no shoes. How long are you going to be live? Till about 11. This is NASDAQ futures, David. Starting to absorb these orders in the low 300s here. See if it creates some momentum through this area. Little rejection there, close to the CE of that 5, I think. Your house does look beautiful. Appreciate that, man. I like to keep the feng shui very centered, you know. Bouncing off a 1 minute gap for those of you who trade ICT. I'm sure some people are short off of this right here, which I would not blame you for doing. I'm just not confident yet in that. I didn't know C-Bone trades. Appreciate that, man. You're usually hesitant to take a trade when we're decoupled like this. It definitely makes it more interesting, if you will. ES is way decoupled here. And I'm sure this is anticipation for earnings and things like that. Like, this could be NQ pricing in the earnings report coming later for a dump. There's a lot of people saying that this AI bubble is going to cause earnings to be lower, and different opinions. You can find, I mean, if you have a point of view about what you think, you can probably find somebody writing about it to support it. So it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting time right now. You look like C-Bone. Hey, Lucas, I appreciate that, man. Any orders below on ES? Some. There's a lot of orders above, too. ES VWAP is at 69.30, so not too far away from where we currently are. Took a short around the orange mark on your chart. Let's see. You're talking about the 1 minute? Yeah, I think a lot of people probably shorted right there. Not a bad place to enter. It's a pretty good entry, actually. Wondering what bookmap you use. So Trading Pal, bookmap is a thing in and of itself. So not to be like nitpicky, but what you mean by your question is, what level 2 data software do you use? Because there's Sierra charts, there's other things. Bookmap is the software that I use. Shorted from 351. That's a good short, man. Top taking that. You trailing your stop? Isaiah, what up? You need a master's degree to know how to use Sierra charts? That's funny, man. I had a guy in here, Nathan, who's told me that he likes them. He feels like they're pretty easy to use. I haven't ever messed with it. I'm doing great, bro. Living the dream over here. How's school going? Sierra charts is harder than building a rocket ship. That's weird, man. I had not heard that. It's good to know, though. I love Bookmap, man. I think once you figure it out, it's not complicated. Pretty much out of the box, ready to go. School's going all right. There you go. How much is Bookmap? All in, it's about 100 a month. A little over 100. T-bid. So I posted a video on this pretty recently, but Bookmap isn't one of those things that you really teach. If you see somebody telling you that you pay them some money and they'll teach you how to use Bookmap, be very careful with that, because Bookmap is one of those things where you can understand the general idea of how it works and how to interpret what you're seeing, but it's one of those things that you really have to use yourself to get good at, to get comfortable with. You can, if you go to my YouTube, you can watch the Bookmap. It's constantly on my screen in the top corner, and you can see how I behave in accordance with what I'm seeing on the Bookmap. But it's one of those things that you really have to get in there yourself. This short's playing out hard, down to 25,280. A lot of orders. Your trading view is 10 minutes behind because you don't have live data. You need to pay for live data or have a prop firm account that provides live data. Yeah, dragon, 100%. Little pitch, now the catch down to 80. Deeper pitch. Now the catch, drop down. Now deeper pitch. And catch. And a deeper pitch. Some orders just got yanked. 80 still lit up pretty strong. You'd be a millionaire. All the trades you call. I'd be in some drawdown right now. Did it tap into that 15? Is that what this is? Yeah. This line right here is where there's a large stack of orders lit up. Resistance or support from the gaps that we're pushing through. Yeah, it does that. Lags a little bit. Francis, yeah, I saw it. Definitely a nice pullback tap into that BPR right there. Would have already made nice 40-point move there-ish. What's your take on TPT? Love them. That's why I work with them. That's why that's the sale on my screen that you see. They're a great firm, man. Never had an issue with them. What are you studying at UNC? Currently studying economics. Econ. Just passed my 50K eval. There you go. Yeah, TPT is great, man. I think you'll like it, Abdullah. The daily payouts, I mean, it's so hard to beat that. And for the 50K account, you're capped at $10,000 a day per account. Kind of unreal. First time came from my fund futures. Yeah, I think you'll be happy, man. Don't forget about the trailing until you hit your buffer. So up until you hit the $2,000 mark, your drawdown's going to trail you intraday. After 2100, yeah, there is a lock. Yep. I don't hate Apex at all. I like Apex a lot. I don't think they're a foundational. For me, you want to build the foundation of Take Profit Trader, Tradeify, and Lucid, and then you add the scaling of up to 20 accounts. I like Apex, man. I don't understand. I do understand the crap that people talk about them, but it's not founded. Most people that talk crap about them are undisciplined traders that don't know how to read and don't know how to do research. Just starting out, is there any tips you'd give me on how to be successful? Take it slow and steady, man. Don't rush the process. You'll hear that a lot. Make sure you take it to heart. Remember that this is a long journey for most people. It takes years. So just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. Make sure you're journaling your trades. Make sure you're not oversizing. Develop a set of rules for yourself that are hard to follow, but they save you and prevent you from losing too much money, and they help you make money. And follow those rules. Don't deviate. I want to be rich in 3 months. Go play the lottery. Should I go slow on my funded? How should I use my risk management? The way that Abdullah, you do what you want, but the way that I like to do it when you have a firm that has trailing drawdown is I like to actually size a little heavier than I normally would. And I by that I mean I would trade like one mini, and I don't look for these long sweeping trades, these long home runs. I look for short trades, and I get in and get out, and I don't allow it to come back on me. That way I can, even if the trade keeps going, I took profit at the peak without allowing drawdown to be taken. So that's kind of my strategy for not allowing that trailing drawdown to affect you, because you can easily get into a position where, if you're trying to take these long trades, you end up getting stopped out. Let's say your peak was at 1,000 and it came back and now you're only up 500. Well, that 500 now is worked against you in your drawdown, and you only have 1,500 drawdown left. So I don't like doing that. I like to size a little heavier than you normally would, which is about a mini for a funded, and then close the trades early rather than allowing them to come back on you if you see signs that it is going to come back, even for like a retracement. Casino robs me. Yeah, man, there's several out there that I've loaned some money to. They owe me. Interest-free loans, I call them. I've issued a couple of those, several. What do you think of the economic state of the world? I think depending on how this stuff goes in the Middle East, right now, I'd say that things are decent, but that is subject to change rather quickly if we see war break out in Iran. Missed your TP. It's not good. Who are some people you suggest to learn about order flow from? I like to recommend Rips, but at the same time, he doesn't really teach. If you're good at teaching yourself, like for me personally, I'm one of those people where I don't need somebody to be intentionally teaching me for me to learn from them. So I've learned a lot from Rips by just watching him. It takes you a little while to figure this out, but he doesn't show like when he's in a trade, but he'll show you the result. He does with his prop firm accounts. He's been doing that recently where he'll have the P&L on the screen. But all of last year, he was trading his personal account, and you just watch him, his demeanor. You know when he's in a trade, he locks in, he stops talking, and you see him. He's always looking up like this. He's looking at the book map, and you can pay attention to what he's doing, where his entry was and where his exit was, based on what you're seeing on the book map as well. And I've learned a lot from him. Now you go watch him. He starts his streams at 8 a.m. Eastern time every day, and he's actually doing a Globex stream at 6 p.m. every night now too. And you can watch him. He'll show his P&L if he's trading a prop firm. It's on the screen, and you can pay attention to what he's seeing and why he's entering a trade. He's pretty good at talking about what he's seeing. Rips, R-I-P-S. How many accounts have you blown? Countless, dude. Countless accounts. Yeah, exactly, Zach. Look for those 10-point trades, 15, 20-point trades, just with the base hits. If you pass your first account, what do you recommend to do? Keep doing what you're doing that led you to pass the account. Make sure you're following their rules. Make sure whatever firm you're with, make sure you're reading their rules, not just following your own personal rules, but read their rules so that you're not violating anything. I saw somebody the other day, they had a fresh Apex funded account, and they made on a 50K account, they made like 8,000 the first day. And they were like super pumped about it. I'm like, don't you know there's a 30% consistency rule when they're funded? So you just created a ton of work for yourself. So make sure you're paying attention to the rules. And make sure you're sticking to your own personal rules. Whatever worked for you to get to the point where you pass the eval. Yeah, Tim, I don't blame you, man. Have a good one. My first account was 150 from passing. I had trade paralysis. Yeah, don't focus on the P&L, man. I know that's easier said than done, but that'll get you into some trouble. It's gotten me into plenty of trouble. Just focus on taking the trades. If one day, the goal, like I've said before, the ideal scenario is you're trading, and then all of a sudden one day, at the end of the day, you get an email from the firm, hey, you passed, congratulations. That's the ideal scenario. Where you're not paying attention to the point where you don't even realize that you passed because you're just executing a plan like a robot to an extent. How long did it take you to get your very first payout? So I traded a lot of Forex for a number of years before I discovered prop firms and before I discovered futures. But when I started trading futures, it was around October, and by that February, I took my first payout with Top Step. But that also, the biggest thing is psychology. So if you come from Forex and you're used to getting your teeth kicked in, and then with personal capital, Then you start trading prop firms, you've kind of like numbed yourself psychologically to the BS. So it makes it a little bit easier. The hardest part about trading is psychology, man. You can learn the analytical part of it pretty quickly. Being able to master your brain is the hardest part. Verse of the day posted. We read a good one this morning. I'll read this one too. Can never have too many. Let's see. Where'd my Discord go? What do I think it does here? I think we're going to push up higher. Most of the orders underneath us got absorbed. There's still some down at 316, 25, 316, but there's a lot all the way up to 25, 350. Yep, that's the one I read. Yeah. Matthew 22, 37 through 39. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's a great verse. Are you Catholic? No. I'm a follower of Christ. Chris, there are people impersonating you. Yeah, man, I know. There's a ton on every platform. I can't get anything done about it, so it is what it is. It's not fun. Don't fall for it. I don't follow, my real TikTok account does not follow anybody. So if you see a TikTok account trying to message you, or for one, I'll never message you first unless we've specifically talked about it here on the stream. But my account, my main account, this one right here, is the only account, and I don't follow anybody, so. Pushing hard up to that 250 level now. Bounced right off of that 15-minute gap, pushed right up. I had a guy yesterday messaging me, try to pretend like he was affiliated with Alpha Futures, trying to scam me. I'm like, bro, I'm already affiliated with them. Like, who? If you were actually affiliated with them, you would know this. He's like, all right, bro, I'm just trying to help. I'm like, dude, no, you're not. You're trying to scam people. Then he called me racist for calling him a scammer. I'm like, yeah, how is that? How does that work? Never mentioned race. Didn't even look at you and know what race you were. Just called you a scammer. That's how you know they know the playbook now, that a certain party has set for them, that the default for their shenanigans is just to label somebody a racist. I know I'm doing something wrong, but you're a racist. How dare you call me on my scam? That's so racist of you to call me out for trying to scam people. Infuriating. Pretty comical though. No, he wasn't Indian, but that is a good guess. When do you think it's a good idea to try and do a funded? I think if you've been paper trading for a while, Kyle, a couple months, and you've seen some solid replicable results, you're green, and you're confident in a strategy that you've developed for yourself, you've developed rules that you're able to follow on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, then that's when I would make the switch over to buying an eval. I'm in longs off the 5-minute close. Tristan, I think that's a good move, man. I would have. Right now we're pushing down into the teens here. 25, 315 is where a small set of orders are, 63 buy orders. but I'm not seeing a whole lot that would justify us to go much lower than that. Other than ES has some orders that are underneath us here, but the majority of the orders are well above us. That right there, I don't know what that was. That was the 315 orders getting absorbed. I'll show you what I'm seeing on the book map. And then this is ES. So ES just absorbed all those orders. It's pushing towards this VWAP. I wonder if something's going on right now, because that's a pretty strong move down. Check the news. Not seeing anything specifically going on. Trump's not talking that I can find. That's an unfortunate candle for you, Tristan. Hate that for you, man. Keep it on the heat map. Johnny, go to the tube, man. And it's constantly on there. I wouldn't mind keeping it on there on here, but some people like seeing the chart, which I don't, you're not really seeing a whole lot here, but if you're on the tube, Christian Trades Live, it's constantly on there. Is it Leandro? I would say if you were able to tell me some confluences that justified you taking that trade, yeah, just because it played out, I don't necessarily just label that a good trade, but if there were certain things that you saw that were like, okay, I saw this, I saw this, I saw that, and that's why I entered the trade, then I would say, yeah, it's a great trade. You need to have things that you can replicate, reasons that you can see on a consistent basis that justify the trade. Just being able to guess the direction sometimes is not necessarily indicative of a solid trade. I'm not saying you were guessing. I'm sure you did have reasons, but I would say it would be a good trade as long as you can give me justifications for why you took it. A tunnel man signaled me. Almost hopped in long, something told me not to. Yeah, I don't know what that drop was about, man. A lot of orders were above us on NQ. A lot of those have gotten yanked now, and there's orders down to 25, 260. But even that, I'd be hesitant to take this. Previous highs, etc. What were the highs that you targeted? Because I didn't have any highs. What I had marked out was the standard deviations. So because the next level of highs, which we haven't even reached yet, were these highs way previous from New York AM high, and then London high, which would have been from February 12th. So we actually didn't even reach those, but we did reach the standard deviation 2.5. Wow, C-Bum is a trader. Appreciate that, man. I'm going to put a counter in the I'm going to figure out how to include a counter in here for every time somebody says something like that. It's pretty funny. I appreciate it. It's a huge compliment. He's definitely my bodybuilding inspiration for sure. Dude's got an absolutely wild physique. Lee Priest is a beast too, man. He's unreal. And I know he can't control this, but the only reason I would say CBum over Lee Priest is people are going to hate on this, but Lee Priest is like 5'5", which to me does give you an advantage when you're bodybuilding, because it is extremely hard when you're taller to get your, especially your legs, to get your legs looking the way you want. Your muscles are so much longer, man. There's a whole level of difficulty to it. But Lee Priest overall, dude is an absolute animal. You ever been to the Arnold Expo in Columbus? No, but I'd like to go to the thing down there in Florida that they do. Thought about going a couple of years ago to that. I was down there at the time. .6'1". Yeah, Arnold is a beast. But CBum, I think he's, 6'1", 6'2". I mean, that's unreal that he's been able to build the physique that he has at that height. What do you think about bots, trading bots? I don't think that, I don't recommend them. I've built some EAMs. I don't know how to say your name. Aljo. I've built some EAMs, algorithmic EAMs, and done and coded some of those, and used them. And I can be more effective, like trading manually. You just still need a human to do this. You still need the human. The whole thing that people say about you need to be, and I even say it sometimes, you need to be robotic. That actually, there are certain scenarios where that doesn't help you. Having the human interaction is definitely still needed. I think we're a ways off from being able to fully automate trading. Look at this consolidation on the book map. It's like somebody's heartbeat monitor. Prop firms don't let you use bots, man. If they catch you doing that, they'll ban you for life. Will price continue bullish because of NVIDIA earnings? NVIDIA, I think, is shooting up right now. Let's look at it. It's a lot higher. I don't know. We'll see. Everything's green except for AMD. Intel's down a little bit. Amazon's up. Apple's up. Microsoft's up almost 3%, 2.5%. Excuse me. Dow Jones up 50,000. All right, Pam. I met him before in Stewart 2 years ago, and boy, was I speechless. Yeah, Johnny. I'd like to, when you see these guys, excuse me, I got something in my lungs. When you see these guys on TV, I can tell you this for professional athletes, because that's the only experience that I have, but seeing them on TV is one thing, and you're like, oh, that guy's probably pretty big. And then you see them in person. They're freaks, dude. Like, they're huge. Like, seeing them around normal people, it just really gives you an idea of how unreal, just ridiculous human specimens they are. Been losing lately with correct ideas, bias, timing is off. That's what it sounds like. I've been there. Maybe be more patient. Is it you're being too patient and trade's going and then it's coming back on you and hitting your stop? Is that what you're doing? Bookmap's just heartbeat censoring back and forth, man. There's orders underneath us, but nothing. It's a little thin right now. How do you use Bookmap? So what you're looking at here is these are where orders. These are limit orders on the chart, and these volume bubbles show you the aggression in which market orders are being placed. So ideally, when we're in I should show this when we're in a scenario where it's actually taking place, but you'll see momentum being created when price is attracted to these levels where you see these flashes and the orders being absorbed. So you use it for that as a confluence of the direction, a really strong confluence of the direction we're headed. Ideally, or theoretically, price is attracted to liquidity, which is what these brighter colors are. They're higher concentrations of liquidity. You have 82 sell orders right here at this 25,320 level. Up here at the 25,350 level. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. 25,350, you have 310 sell orders up there. So theoretically, price is attracted to those levels. But right now, it's very thin. This is ES. This is not, directionally, it's not very clear which way it wants to go. So in a good scenario, you see very strong price action in a certain direction. You'll see a pullback. That's where you typically look for an entry. That's what I call the pitch, or what Rips calls the pitch. And then the catch is when it goes to absorb the orders that you're targeting, like in this 320 area right here. But I'm not doing that right now just because it's thin. But I'm just telling you as an example. This would be the pitch, which is the pullback. The catch is the move all the way up to the liquidity level you're targeting. Yes, Brandon, both entries and exits. I was waiting to see how many times that guy was going to say, "Are you going to take a trade today?" I just saw it each time and just figured I'd block it because it's probably annoying for you guys to keep seeing. I'm in a long. What do you think? It's dicey, man. I think it's dicey. I don't know. It could play out. It could not. Right now, it's kind of unclear to me which direction price wants to go. Got you interested in order flow? It's effective. It's very effective. Makes sense to me. I mean, I like ICT too, man. I use it in conjunction with ICT. So you don't necessarily do time frames on Bookmap. That's not necessarily how it works. Time frames are on TradingView, a candle is representative of whatever time frame you're on. That's not how this works. You can sit here and say you want a time slice of 15 minute. That's the 15-minute time slice. 1 hour. That's just showing you more data. It's not changing really the size of the bubbles or anything like that. Almost longed on open, but my setup was right before it opened, so I waited and didn't get in. It's fine, man. It happens. You know, sometimes you got to just wave to it, even though you knew what it was going to do and you followed your rules. If one of your rules is not to get into a trade prior to market open, good job. That's a win. To me, that's better than breaking a rule and making money. Please get his ass. Yeah, this is not good price action. I'm not going to sit here much longer. The Pinot guy, not here today. I'm guessing bro was rage baiting. Well, he got a little bit out of me. There's no doubt about that, Kyle. No, Tristan. There you go, Zach. Have a good one, man. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm right behind you. You too, man. Have a good one. I am shortly, yeah. I am shortly. I'm sticking around for another 10 minutes or so. I'm going to go turn the crops and milk the cows. I'm jealous, man. Have a good day, man. Good to see you. Which plan do you have? Global Plus. It's the one you need. I think I'm actually going to call it, guys. I'm not even going to wait 10 more minutes. I don't want to trade this. Not interested. I'm going to go do something more productive. I got some chicken I need to cook. Work on these gains. I'm going to hop off. You guys be good. Have a blessed day. If you're green, stay green. Don't give you any of it back. And if you're red, don't make it worse. So appreciate you being here. Appreciate the follows, the gifts, the likes, the comments, the interactions, everything. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. God bless you. Have a good day. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. And we'll see you. Remember, Thursdays I don't stream because I have an early class that runs to market open, and I don't like having to rush. So no lives on Thursdays. We'll be back Friday, ready to roll. Streaming class. Can't do that. What was the name of the colorful chart? It's called Bookmap. It's a level 2 data software. You can get it at bookmap.com. No, you're good, Johnny. I was just reminding everybody. Be back on Friday, though. Friday. Love you guys. Take care. God bless you too, man. Thanks for being here.